Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Super day to you, you, and you. Coach Cat is here, and I am excited because I've published my first novel. People thought that I had written a novel before. I have written content. I do have other genre of books, a game book, which is more of a discussion starter or icebreaker kind of book. And then I have a business book, but this one is a passion project of working on a novel. Well, that's not the point of this video. I just want to let you know a little bit about what I've been up to. As a coach, I'm taking my own advice and going through the steps of publishing my book and promoting my book. And I get why people don't complete the assignment. I do. If you're not really interested in everything about a particular topic that you're interested in, whether it's cleaning, doing hair, everything has a marketing and sales component to it. So I get it. I do. But it's necessary. And I've tried to avoid parts of my business I didn't like either, like administrative stuff. And you will eventually have to face whatever you've avoided. So the point of today's video is about those who want to write a book. And you don't really know if you want to do anything until you try to do the thing. And some people have tried to write a book and failed. And I'm not I'm not sure what the reason is that they are saying that they were not successful in getting their book published. Maybe they did get it published, which means it's in print, it is available for purchase. However, they're not making a lot of sales. And I could say, oh, that's a marketing issue. But marketing goes down to who you know right now. That's called your low-hanging fruit or your warm contacts. It could be that, like, maybe you want to write erotic books, but you are deeply involved in the church. So being deeply involved in the church may cause you to have to market differently. But differently meaning what? To who? Where are my low-hanging fruit? Where are the people that want to read this kind of thing? So you would have to do research. Research is a part of marketing. Yes, what is research, Katherine? Yeah, looking around, but in school, when you have research, you have a point of reference. Like back in the olden days, there was a library with card catalogs. And so you had your topic and you'd go to that particular category on the card catalog in the library and pick everything that they have on that topic. Well, as a business owner, you don't always have the luxury of a preset point to pull from. So you have to create the point to pull from. Where do I find the people if my people that I know would not be the ideal audience for the type of book I want to write? Where do I go? Where do I look? I'm not going to get into that this time. I'm just briefly going over some of the reasons people may have not completed writing their book. Sometimes you get bored writing the book. And so my advice to you is if you don't enjoy writing the book, you probably won't enjoy reading the book. And if you won't enjoy it, maybe somebody else won't enjoy it as well. So that may be a reason not to finish a book if you're not interested, right? But we're going to pretend in this scenario that you are interested. You're interested and you have people who want to hear what you have to say. And the reason you know this is because people say, my goodness, the way you talk, I could visualize that. That should be in a book. Have you written that? Who wrote that? If they take on what you're saying in your conveying of information, you might be telling a story. You may be telling about something that actually happened in your life, but it sounds like you're sharing story time. Maybe you have humor. Maybe you are able to make a bad situation better with your perspective. Whatever it is, you've been given some clues that maybe you should write that down. Sometimes people say you should write that down because they don't want to hear you talk. So of course you have to figure out which is which. But the first thing is if you enjoy hearing yourself talk, if you enjoy what you write, then you are one of the first people, and there are other people like you who would enjoy what you're writing. For those who want you just to put it on paper so that they don't have to hear you talk, that's a different category, not what we're talking about on today. So you want to write a book, you don't know where to start. Start with what are you interested in reading? Then write about it. I don't think I would be good. I didn't think I would be good either. And you might not be good, but you can get better. And here's the thing about being so good when you do your first thing, whatever it is, you have to top that. I'm not saying lower your standards. I'm saying work up to that greatness. You know, it's already there. Do something now that's not quite as perfect. Do something a little more that tops that last thing, and save that big bang that you want to give for a later date, for a gratifying moment that says these steps led up to that. Those steps don't have to lead up to that. You can be great right out of the gate, but then what are you going to do for your next trick? Okay. So pace yourself. Write what you want to write what you would enjoy reading. Know your audience, meaning there are other people reading books like the one you want to write. So a quick way to research that is to look on a site where you would purchase books or where you would check out books. So your local library, maybe there's a independent bookstore, maybe there's an online bookstore that you can say, are there other books that are like mine? And if there are books that are like yours, then you know that you have an option. If there's a store, if there's a website that takes your genre that you want to write, then you know there's an audience already. You may not know those people, you may not have them on your personal email list. So now you would think, okay, I'm in the church. My audience is not going to be from the church as far as I know. I mean, now it might be somebody from the church to buy the book, but you don't want to be the one who promotes that book to the church. So you find out that there's a site that takes the books. So that means they already have an audience for the kind of books that you write. You want to put your book on that site. Your book is on that site, and people gradually start discovering your book. Now, how do I get to know these people for myself so I can continue to sell directly to them and not worry about them sort of finding me? Well, you have to make a list, an email list. I use MailChimp. I like MailChimp. Some people use something different for their email marketing, but you want to get these people on your email list. So on a website, on the site where you find that they sell books similar to yours, so they already have an audience of the people you want to reach, you may have an option to create an authors page, which is a way to tell them how to connect with you outside of that site. Your marketing is going to always be slow. You can get somebody to do a good surge of clients for you, but it's still going to slow down. At some point, it's going to slow. So it's not that you're going to get 1,000 people every day endlessly. That would be nice. And then you'll have, thousands and millions of people soon, but it takes a while. So you may get a burst, then a plateau, a trickle, a burst, then a plateau, and another plateau. And the plateau is a no happening area. No activity is happening outside of your business. During plateaus, I like to create new ideas for new opportunities when there's another opportunity for a burst or trickle for my business. But you're going to find yourself in a plateau, in a low spot where it just doesn't seem like anything is moving or growing, but it is. So just keep being consistent, keep being diligent, keep writing, keep creating content, keep putting stuff out there, because when you have a burst, whatever that content is that got those people attention or was marketed to them where they saw that first of you, they're going to want to go back and see other stuff. And you may say, well, Katherine, I'm brand new. I don't have any content available. Okay, well, the way to fix that is to start your own blog. That is a way to market. So marketing is the thing I'm pinging on today as to why some people just don't finish their book. And then it's personal. You wrote these are your thoughts, and people are going to judge them and criticize them and tell you that something is grammatically incorrect. And they're not going to take into account where you're from, and maybe that's how you talk, where you're from. They're not going to do that. So criticism, this is something personal. When you write, your words mean something so powerful. So you don't want to give them to people so they can chop them up. But it's going to happen. They're going to do it anyway. No matter what we do, what we say, somebody has something to say, whether we know about it or not. So you have to overcome what could be said, what might be said, what is actually said in the marketing. Okay. Take what you can use and get rid of the rest. If you cannot productively use the criticism, meaning it doesn't move you forward in what you're trying to do, then leave it alone. So you're writing the book that you would read. You're writing the book that you would enjoy writing. You're thinking about obstacles, research, criticism, just feeling sensitive about putting your words out there and having people say something about it that isn't what you want to hear. I've waited over 20 years to write a novel, maybe more than 20 years, and I'm still nervous about what people will think. I want them to like it, but I don't want them to just like it without context. I like it because, so I have expectations. I'm still sensitive about it, and writing is still personal. So I waited 20 years, and it's still nerve-wracking to wonder what people will have to say about it that may not be as on point as I want it to be. Sometimes they give me new ideas, but sometimes it hurts your feelings, and other times you do get new ideas, but it can go either way. So I don't have the words that just say, these are the magic words for you to know to write your book, other than, will you enjoy what you have written? It's like cooking a meal. Will you eat the food that you've prepared? Some people can cook, or they will cook. I don't know if the food is tasty. They don't know if the food is tasty. They'll cook it, but they won't eat it. So the same thing with writing. If you write it, but you won't read it, then what is the point? You have to enjoy it, because you have to advocate for this book, which is marketing. Advocate for this book. Say, check out my book. My book is Moments the Weekend, or expand your brand through radio, or help me settle an argument. Okay. So you can find those under Katherine Waddell or Katherine Jones, because I started writing before I got married under my maiden name. And anyway, those books are available. So you have to advocate for your book. Why should somebody check out your book? And yes, somebody's going to say, you're always talking about your book. Okay. Well, how do you deal with somebody saying you're always talking about your book? That's better than never talking about your book, because if you never talk about your book, you may very likely not make any sales, right? So marketing is the big part. Liking what you've written is the main part. Okay. So I'm going to come back with another video, because I could just talk about writing and obstacles and things I've learned. And I just want you to take from this video what you can use and move your feet forward. I'm giving you my way and my ideas and my opinion. You have your own opinion that you're going to form, but you're collecting data. Okay. So I welcome you to continue to collect data from me and from other people who talk on the topics of writing, because there's more to writing than just what I've even said. And there's types of writing. You don't have to write a novel. You could write a short story. What qualifies as a short story? Maybe you could just do a blog. How can you monetize that? So many more questions to ask and to have them answered. So I hope to see you again on my channel, but I want you to explore other people's channels, learn from other people, and then come up with your formula. And once you come up with your formula, share it. I'm paying it forward. These videos are free for you to tune into anytime you get ready, as often as you want to. So as I grow, I share. And I just ask that you do the same. So until the next video, you have a super day. Write what you want to read. And let me leave you with this. I love drama, as long as it's in a book.